Welcome to Snyder County, up on top of Shade Mountain, just outside of Beaver Springs, and got a rainy, windy, cloudy day, but that's okay, because it gives more character to the woods. Can you see this? Winds are just ripping up here. It's going to be a pretty wild climb. I've been to this site before. The view that I'm about to show you isn't going to be very impressive today because of the fog. But this is a really famous place called the Mount Pisgah Altar. Let me turn the camera around and show you what you're looking at. And I've been here for weddings, believe it or not. Folks can get married here. I don't recall the exact process for reserving the altar, but it is private property, but the owner works with folks to allow them to have weddings here. So, and on a nice clear day, you would not believe the view. But again, it kind of creates its own character, I think, today. So since I've been here before, I don't feel ripped off. I've seen it. I did notice a sign that said, please don't come during the dark. They don't mind if you come up here in the daytime hours, but I don't think they want camping or any overnight stuff. All right, we got to do a little bushwhacking. The high point is about a mile to the east. We'll check in when we get closer. All right, walking in to the top of Shade Mountain, Snyder County, with some friends. Just heard a grouse. Did you guys hear that?
Yeah.
That's a rare sight and a rare thing anymore, it seems, is to flush out a grouse. West Nile virus has really knocked their numbers down. But these ridge tops hold out some hope because there's less mosquitoes up on these dry ridge tops. And so I think some of the newer research is suggesting that the grouse are hanging on in these drier sites. But really interesting forest, kind of what I would expect. A lot of pitch pine. I'm hoping for a shortleaf pine, but no luck yet. A lot of mountain laurel, some white pine. Came across some tamarack, and there's some conversation whether or not they are Native American tamarack or if they're Japanese larch. I'm not sure, to be honest, but this mountain has had some reforestation. So it is possible there could be some non-native stuff introduced. And we're getting real close to the high point. All right, I'm recording. Let's head up this pitch pine. And so what was the elevation? 22 or 21? 2175. Yeah, if you keep pulling on that, it'll actually go faster. Look at that. Watch your heads. I'm gonna get this out of the way. All right. It's pretty cool. Even though it's foggy, you can see. It's really cool. There's like, whoa, I'm really rocking. There's a whole stand of black gum here. And so like I'm looking out in the black gum tops. Looks like a totally different forest. All right, let me get some pictures here. You guys get together in a place, maybe on the trail over there, so I can get all of you in one picture, please. Whew. All right, I think I'm coming down. It's plenty windy, that's for sure. There's a pine cone from the highest tree in Snyder County. That's for you, young man. That was a quick one. It was rocking. It was really moving up there. Sure. Can't feel my fingers. Shut off my camera. All right, here we are in the Tuscarora State Forest. It's the highest point in Juniata County, and got an incredibly foggy day, so I don't think the view is going to be terribly breathtaking, but what I can't tell is how much we'd really be able to see anyway. Drove through some valleys getting here that I feel like it drops off pretty quickly on that side, so maybe I would have seen pretty far to the north. Lewistown, I think, is that way. Found a nice red oak we're going to climb here. Very windy day, but I don't mind that it's foggy, just in the sense that it'll give the forest an entirely different feel. So, got my friend Bryan Pearson here with me. Bryan and I are Penn State buddies, back when it was called the School of Forest Resources. And he's gonna be my groundsman, help spot me. All right, it's getting windy, let's get up there. All right, foggy day in Juniata County, Tuscarora State Forest. Got a benchmark right here. It doesn't give the elevation to it, but I bet when I get back and look at a topo map, we'll be able to see the exact elevation. But there was some kind of an old structure over here. All we have is some stone stairs. I think there used to be a fire lookout tower up here, and that's probably related to that. We're just gonna take this red oak and make this our climb. All right, Bryan, if you're willing, will you just grab these two and put all your weight on it? It should hold both of us. All right, thanks, buddy. Yeah. Going up. All right, now we'll go. I don't usually like to see woodpecker holes in a tree when I'm climbing it. Usually a sign of decay, right? The woodpeckers they're after some bugs. Well, there wouldn't be bugs in this tree unless there was bacteria and decay. So, not the greatest thing you want to see when you're working in a tree. So I'm not going to go much higher. No reason to risk it. I'm plenty high. Let's see what Bryan looks like. I don't love these woodpecker holes. I'm not going any higher. This will work. It is a shame it's foggy because I can tell that right over this way to the east would have been, it looks like the mountain just drops off and it would have been a heck of a view. But it's kind of eerie. I like this fog, kind of a eerie effect. All right. Thank you, Red Oak. So, before I go down, I think I'll dedicate today's climb to Tuscarora people. So we're in Tuscarora State Forest, and my understanding of the Tuscarora people is that they were a group of Native Americans from the South originally. And I'm not sure how far south, I'm just not aware, but not Pennsylvania. And in the early 1700s, there were only 5 nations of what we call the Iroquois. Haudenosaunee people. 1720s or 30s, I believe it was, Tuscarora north and asked permission to join the Iroquois, the Haudenosaunee, and they became the sixth nation. So to this day, they're the 6 nations. Well, the Tuscarora people came north because they were trying to escape enslavement. A lot of native people were being enslaved and lost to the slave trade. So they heard about William Penn's colony and came north. So this is part of their legacy. Dreary day. I think it's fitting to their story because their ancestral land was not here, it was in the south, but due to enslavement they came north, and I would argue that's a pretty dreary story in and of itself. But she is a beautiful forest. Alright, I'm coming down. Yeah, I got up there and saw those woodpecker holes. Luckily you could only see in a few inches. It wasn't like a hollowed out cavity, but I didn't like that. All right, that's the 10th climb. It's good to be in double digits, considering there are no triple digits. I'm almost done. And then the way you get this out, did you see how one ring was bigger than the other?
I didn't notice.
All right, so this knot will pass through the big ring.
Okay.
And then it gets hung up on the little ring.
Yeah. Nice.
And there she is.
Huh.
Good climb, buddy.
Yeah, man.
Turn off my camera if I can feel my fingers. All right, quick stop on our hike out of Tuscarora State Forest. Check out this oak. We saw it on the way in, big, beautiful oak. And we noticed this limb that fell off of it. And here's the limb. And I guess what struck me is, I mean, at first glance, that looks like a fairly healthy limb. If this limb was still on the tree, many climbers, myself included, would think that there's no risk, but she's totally punky wood, totally soft and rotten. And you know, you really can't tell from the ground that if that had still been connected, I would have looked at that and thought that's a safe tree to climb. So just kind of a friendly reminder to me that you can't be too careful. And when you're seeing any kind of signs of decay or rot, like those woodpecker holes, trust your gut. So like today, once I saw those woodpecker holes, I didn't go any higher. I got out of there. I'm not even sure I would have climbed that tree had I noticed the woodpecker holes in the beginning, but I'll blame the fog. It is thick. All right, so we saw this on the hike in. This is an American chestnut tree. And do you see any sign of blight on it, Brian? I don't.
I don't see anything. It looks healthy.
Yeah, what caught our eye actually was we saw...
Oh yeah, there is actually a little wee bit here in the back.
I saw one of the seed husks or hulls down on the road and it caught our eye. Let's see, you see a little bit of that blight?
Yeah, it's starting.
Yeah, so that orange kind of nasty stuff, that's the blight. So unfortunately, this tree's probably not going to make too many more years, but pretty cool. So if you come to Tuscarora State Forest, we're on Spectacle Road, about 2 football fields from where the road dead ends, in a 90-degree turn. So this 90-degree turn is where this chestnut is if you want to come back on your own, see if it's still living. This is called Licking Creek, and Licking Creek will eventually flow to the Juniata River. So today's climb was in the Juniata River watershed, which is part of the greater Susquehanna River watershed. Really a beautiful trout stream.